everyone, I got a big package in the mail today. Not sure what all's in it, but I thought we would just do an unboxing real quick. So I'm just going to grab some scissors and give it a quick cut so we can get into it with let's see what all we've got. So we'll just pull it out a little bit at a time. Oh my goodness, oh there's a lot of stuff in here. We have got the Spellbinders cutting dies for your wax seals. So you've got a square frame and an oval frame. Very cool. And then we've got the wax seal stamp set for them. It has the oval and it has the rectangle that this will die cut out. Very, very cool. All right, we've got that. Let's see what else we've got in here. There's a bunch of stuff. Okay, this is the rub-ons, and this is, there's two 6x8 sheets and an applicator stick with some rub-ons that you can use, and they'll work with the stamp set. So very, very cool. And then we've got another wax seal stamp, and it's just a solid 1-inch circle is what it is. This are the clear seal sticks, and there are several of them in there. There's 20 of them, and they're almost 8 inches long. Yeah, it's a bunch of them. And then we have, let's see what else we have here. We have the bullion wax seal powder, and this is the gold. And then you have the little applicator brush with it. And you add metallic highlights to wax seal stamps with a pressed powder. Stunning. And then in addition to that, we've got the clear seal maker tool. And this is the little tool that you can make your clear seals with. And it includes 6 clear seal sticks and an instruction sheet and then the tool. And you can kind of see that. So you can make clear seals, and then you can use the gold wax to kind of highlight them and make them really fancy. So that's really cool. And then we have the sealed glass mat that comes with it. And this is so you can, you know, lay this down and you can work on your seals on this and protect your surfaces. So, very cool. So that's what we've got. And we'll have to read the instructions and everything, and then we'll come back and we'll make something with it, and it'll be super fun. Okay, I am back, and I will tell you, I had a good play with this. This product was for another design team that I am on, and I had to create the video for that team. And so I did have a good play with it, but I have an idea that I want to work with. Sometimes, you know, you struggle with, I've got this on and it's heating up, so we just need a few minutes for it to heat up. But sometimes I struggle with design and what I want to do. But when I saw these rub-ons, and then I worked when I had my good play with it, and these ovals, it just immediately popped into my head that I wanted to use Kendra's Card Challenge sketch number 7 with this. And I'll just show you the sketch that I'm going to use. It's this one right here. And I thought, gosh, with these clear wax seals, that would be perfect for this. And so I immediately knew what I wanted to do. And this made me think about just the colors and everything that's in this. It made me think about a scrap piece of vellum that I had from the Weekender leftover. And this actually is the perfect size for the sketch. So I've got it. So that's what I have in mind to do with this. And we're going to create 3 wax seals. We are going to use the oval one. This one shows circles, but I think the oval will work just fine on it. I've already got my card elements all laid out and ready to go. And all we need to do is create our 3 clear wax seals with this. And we're going to use the rub-ons, and I'm going to choose colors that are going to match nicely with. Let's just bring in the platinum, or the little scout, and use it. I'm going to move my my plate out of the way, my glass plate for that out of the way. And I'm just going to do this because I think this will just be quicker. So we'll just run each one of these through real quickly. I'm going to get the oval die that goes with it. And we'll just die cut this. It's going to be 3 passes because we got to get all 3 of them die cut out. So I'm just going to lay that on there. And we're going to hope and pray that it doesn't move. I'm going to press down, try and hold it down so it doesn't move. And then we'll just get it die cut out. Just going to go back and forth real quickly over all 3 of these. And the back, sometimes the backing comes off of it. So you want to be real careful with that when you die cut it. Sometimes that backer sheet that is on the rub-ons will come off. And so just be careful how you lay it so you don't get it stuck down. And then we're going to get this next one. I just thought the Scout would be easier since we're just going to need to do it 3 times because we just have the one oval die. Now this is the one we're going to really want to try and get lined up very well because this is our portrait or our photograph. Okay, and those are all ready. Now our wax tool should be heated up and should be good to go so that we can start working with that now. I think this will come together fairly quickly once we get all of our elements ready. So I'm going to get this little die and put it up so I don't lose it. Get this out of the way. We've got our gold powder and all that. We've got our stamp ready. And so now we just need to check and see if our wax, our clear wax is ready. Okay, so we're all heated up. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put this little leg in, get it out of the way. And I'm just going to put a good amount down so that it'll be big enough for that oval piece that I've got there, the oval stamp that I've got there. So that looks like a pretty good amount. And we'll put the leg down on it so it can stand. And then I'm just going to take and try and get in the center and just give it a good press. And just press it down real well. Give it a good press. I'm giving it a little time to kind of set. And there we go. We've got a really nice, now we don't have a complete edge all the way around, but I kind of like to trim that up a little bit myself. You can leave it that way. So let's just put a little bit more down here. And I'm going to have to add another piece of my sticks to it. So we'll just add another stick and give it a little bit more of a press. Now I've got a little bit more there. And put the leg down on that. There we go. Now we're getting it kind of all the way around. We got plenty on that one. Plenty. It's so thick we need to let it dry just a little bit longer too. There we go. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, so let's do a couple more just to make sure we have plenty of it so that I'll have enough for what I want to do with it. There we go. This one's going to be thick too. You can probably do a lot less. And you'll kind of get in your rhythm with it, I think. I think I'm still learning because I just got it today. Just give it a minute to dry a little bit and then pull it off. All right, let's do one more. Get this out of the way. When you get it thick like that, you've got to let it sit for a little bit because it takes a minute to set up. that extra wants to roll back on it if you don't watch it. So anyway, so we've got 4 that we can certainly use. So I'm going to clean these up a little bit. This one is certainly ready. And you can do it however you want to do it. You can leave that bubble edge on there, or you can cut that bubble edge off. It just depends on how, what look you want. For this, because I've got this design that I want to use, I am going to cut them off. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, there we go. I'm going to let this one set. It turned out really nice too. We might go ahead and I'm going to turn this off because we're really done with what we need to do. Get it out of the way. And we've got this one as well. There's just an extra one. I'm just going to bring in one of my little sheet protector things, or my protector things, and use it as I'm going to use the gold powder on there. And so I'm going to just kind of keep from making a mess here. And I see a little edge on here I want to just snip off. Oh, okay. There we go. So this is like eyeshadow, and this is like an eyeshadow applicator. And it's very much like applying eyeshadow. So I'm just going to take our little pad, and I think I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And I'm just going to take it and rub it on there. Look at that. Look how glorious that is. Oh my goodness. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. So I'm just going to cover all of the raised edges with it. And we're going to have a gilded frame. And I think it's going to look really pretty on our card. And I'm just going to do the next one. Super, super fun. Just get it covered really well. So pretty. Look at them. They're just little frames. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, I love them. And if you wanted to, you could definitely fill in the back of that too. And I think it would be okay. In fact, got a little piece of fuzz there or something. Let's get that out of the way. Let's just do that and see what it looks like. So you could have, you can just do that whole thing and make it look like that and just fill it in. I didn't do that with the other ones. The other thing that's fun that you can do as well is with these little stamps and the rub-ons, you wouldn't have to necessarily do the clear like we've got here. You could bring in your colored waxes, stamp them with this, and then foil on them, and those would be super pretty as well. But I'm just focusing on the clear here today. So I think that looks good. I like it, and we're going to go ahead and use our rub-ons and lay them down. Now, some of them, the backs came off of, and I'm not sure which one. Not that, this one. I think. Nope, must be the sunflower one. So I'm going to be really careful with it because the back came off of it. And see here, it peeled off a little bit because it was stuck to that, but just be really careful with it. And I'm going to get it laid down on there. And then I'm going to bring in my little tool. Where did I put it? I'm not immediately finding it. But what we can do, because we have tools, is we can just use our bone folder. And so I'm going to use it. I know that little popsicle stick is somewhere, but I'm just going to take my bone folder and rub on there and just give it a really good press. Just like you would with your popsicle stick. Okay, and then bring my tweezers and just take a peek and see if it's ready. Just get a hold of that. I can see it was lifting up here. I had absolutely no trouble pulling it off before. So I've got a little bit in the corner there that needs pressed again. So before you completely pull it off, go ahead and check it. And then you can pull it off. And isn't that lovely? So lovely. Okay, so we've got our little backer sheet on here. And we've got to carefully pull it off. And then just barely grab that thing so you don't lose any of it. Don't use your fingers, use your tweezers so that none of the rub-on comes off on your fingers. And then lay it down in there. And then just take it and just work it until it releases. You can actually see it release because it kind of gets cloudy looking. And so then you know that it has released. And then you can just pull it right off. And so that's what I'm going to do. Just pull it right off of there. Oh my goodness. So we've got these two. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. So much fun. I never thought I would have this much fun with a product like this, but it is super fun. So we're going to get that backer sheet off of there. And I'm trying not to touch it. Just use my tweezers. Get it laid down in here. I got a little bit of it off of there, but it'll be okay because we put the gold behind it. And it kind of looks antique-y anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So cute. Get a hold of it somewhere. It's lifting somewhere. I think if I do this, I can get a hold of it. There we go. Just bend it a little bit and pull it off. Okay, so now we've got our elements. Now we're going to make our card. And like I said, I just had this vision. You know, sometimes I sit just stumped forever trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But as soon as I saw these and kind of the color scheme of them, it immediately made me think of the Weekender. And so, and I knew I had that panel, and I thought the panel would match very nicely. So I have got sketch 7 already prepared here, and we're just going to get to assembling it, and we're going to make a card. So I've got, you know, I die cut that out of there. Let's see, we're zoomed in. Are we zoomed in too much? Let's zoom out just a little. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. Sorry for the shaky camera. Okay. So just making the most of my cardstock. So I did that, and we're gonna use it. Hopefully I can get my ink to work, or my glue to work. Yeah, we're gonna need to poke it. It has been sitting with the lid off overnight, and so it's not primed and ready to go. So we'll get it. Maybe. Sometimes it takes a couple pokes with the pen. And these are the Barely Art pens that you can get. And I'm just giving it a nice little poke. This is a fun tool. This is a tool I didn't know that I needed. And so I was fortunate that to have the opportunity to get it. And I really like it. So super fun. It's one of those things that you'll have to get out, or, you know, get it out and play with it, because it sure is fun. Okay. Now the next, our sketch calls for an additional layer. And so we're just going to use this blue. I'm going to keep our color tones very, very similar. And we're going to get it laid down on here. And I think it's lovely. Oh my gosh. So lovely. Love it, love it, love it. All right. And then now we've got the vellum. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to get your vellum to lay down like it should. So what I'm going to do is, this sketch calls for a piece, and I'm not doing a very good job of getting a straight line here. I should have put it on the back of the blue. Anyway, it calls for, let's just do it this way. I'm going to do it this way because I'm making a mess here. making a bigger mess. The sketch actually calls for this to kind of lay in the center of your panel. So I'm going to go ahead and get it laid down on here. Did I get it centered pretty much? I think it's pretty close. Let's see how it looks on here. Yeah. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on the back of this and get it laid down on here. And then this is going to hold it down on our card. And then you won't see any glue peeking out behind the vellum. We're going to do it like that. It's pretty close. There we go. And then this strip here, I am going to take and put some glue on the back of it and just lay it down on here. And it isn't cut to size, so I'm going to have to trim it off a little bit. And that's okay, because I think I've got this side just slightly longer than the other side. And so we'll just take our scissors and we'll just give it a little cut. And I think that'll be just fine. Okay, and now we can lay this panel down here. On our card. And I've got kind of a gluey mess there. I should have kept that plastic piece there. And then this just calls for it to go down with a nice frame across there like that. And now we have our place to put our images. And I think they're going to be super cute. And I think they work out perfectly for this sketch. Now, I'm not sure about adhesive for this because this is the first that I have done with it. So I think what I'm going to do is take some double-sided tape and put on the back of each of these, and then we'll put some glue down as well, and that way we'll make sure that we have a good adherence on all of these. So that is my plan. So I'm going to get it stuck down on there a little bit, and then grab that backer tape, pull it off. This is the kind of the ocean sky scene. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. And that way we'll have extra support. And I'm going to have to do something. We might have to use some embellishments or something to get that to lay down. It's wanting to kind of pop up. Let's just bring that in and hold that down for now. Maybe we can train it to stay down. Okay, giving this a good rub, and we'll try to pull this off. Okay, and then a little dot of glue. Which one do we have here? Okay, we've got the florals. So I'm going to bring it in and lay it down and make sure we have enough room for our, yes we do, okay. So we'll give it a little press. Pull that off. A little bit of glue. And we're going to get her laid down in the center of that. I think it's fun. I think this is fun for this particular sketch of the challenge. And I am going to try, I don't know. I'm going to put a little dot of glue and press down on it. I don't think it's going to show too bad because we've got some color there. No, that's going to be just fine. Okay. And so there's our sketch. Now I think we just need some kind of a sentiment for it, so I'll be right back. Okay, I just went to my little stash of sentiments that were already prepared, and I came across this one, and I had two. I have sending you and then blessings. and it has the gold embossing on it, and so I think it'll work out well with this. And we're just going to lay this down. And we've got a really interesting card. Using those clear wax seals. And I've got a little something there. I'm going to get my glue eraser and see if I can get it to come off. And if I can't, I'm going to add a gold gem to it. So I'm going to grab some gold gems, and we'll just bring in a gold gem and put on there. And that will cover it up. So, put that there. And then that'll finish off sketch 7. I think it's really cool. Fun use of these. Love it. So I hope you liked it. I hope you maybe saw a new product that you hadn't seen before. I had not seen it before now. And it was certainly fun to work with. Very cool. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Please consider giving the video a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. Thanks for watching.